Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome back to my page, Money Making Juggernaut. I'm your host, Eric Richardson. Today I have a great video in store, alright? So I just got paid out on a successful estate claim. Okay, this is when the previous owner was deceased and we had to help an heir recover their funds to the estate. The reason why I want to upload this video and do a case study is there's really nobody doing this, guys. There's really nobody that is revealing what's required to actually have a successful claim. A lot of people kind of gatekeep information, or they'll give you a little bit of information and have you just hanging from a cliff. I want to give you guys full transparency. I'm going to break down exactly what's necessary to file deceased claims, how you can see how I got the successful payout, and then hopefully you guys can move forward on your journey with surplus funds and you can help people, because deceased claims are very large. Okay, and we're gonna get into why it's very important. Make sure you guys watch the whole video. Before we get into that, make sure you guys go ahead and hit the like, hit the subscribe button. You guys know I'm doing it for you guys. Come on, check it out. Let's get into it. All right, guys, so we're over here now on my computer. We're gonna go ahead and begin this deceased claim case study. For starters, I'm going to show you guys what this property is. This property was in Baker County in Florida, which is a smaller county in Florida that not many people know about. So this actually is just a parcel. It's just a piece of land. You guys can see it. It looks like they might have a trailer here, but they don't have much here. There's a home here, a home there, but this is, just a small piece of land. All right. So what we're going to get into today is we're going to show you guys how I got the successful claim. All right. First of all, we got paid out directly from the county. It says right here, Baker County Clerk of Courts. We got paid $21,588. All right. Then my payment to my company, Prestige Family Assets Group, was $6,476. Okay. So we got our percentage on this claim, and this was the total amount. Now, I do want to let you guys know, the county did have a mishap, all right? They did end up sending the check directly to the owner, which is no issue. As you can see, we still got paid out. But we're going to get into why you guys need to make sure you're on top of the county, because in the event of your claimant getting the check, you want to make sure that you get paid. Now, in the agreement form, it does kind of protect you, but nonetheless, as long as you have good communication with your client, you have a good relationship. When my client got the check, they told me, they said, hey, the county just sent me the check. I was like, wow. We originally had everything planned on going to the attorney's escrow account and then releasing funds, but the county just sent him the check. He called me, let me know, and then the next day he sent me a check. I gave him a FedEx check, and everything was fine. All right. So let's get into why deceased claims are important. Okay. For starters, guys, they are the most frequent type of claims. All right. That's right. Okay. So for those of you who are like, oh, I don't want to do deceased claims, you're going to want to pay attention, okay? They are the most frequent type of claims, primarily because, think about it, people aren't paying their taxes because they're not alive, all right? They're deceased, they passed away, years have gone by, all right, and they didn't pay their taxes. So in Florida, the way it works is Florida is a dual state. It's a tax lien and it's a tax deed, all right? After a year, 2 years, 3 years, they're going to start doing these tax lien certificates. All right, at the tax lien certificate sale, somebody can purchase that certificate. They're basically going to bid on the interest. It can go all the way up to 18%. Okay, at that time, when they actually get the certificate, they now have the interest in the property. So if the homeowner does not pay the taxes that are due plus the interest, and Florida is different. They don't automatically get the property. What's going to happen is now it's going to be deeded. Okay, so now it's going to go to a deed auction. All right, the opening bid is going to be that taxes plus the interest. Okay, if it does not sell, then that person with that certificate gets the property. Okay, if it does sell for a higher amount, that leaves the surplus. Okay, so this is how we come about with these deceased claims. All right. The previous owner has passed away, nobody else is upkeeping the property, paying taxes, and now it's gone. All right? When we have these deceased claims, we must realize that we are assisting heirs. Heirs are going to be easier to charge the full 30%. Why? This is money they had no idea about. They didn't own that property. They had no ties to that property. So by charging the higher percentage, we can get away with it. Usually when you're working with the previous owners, sometimes they're like, oh, well, you're going to get some of my money, this, that, and the third. They might want to negotiate with you. On a scenario where we're helping an heir, I've been able to get my 25 to 30%. No need to negotiate. The only time we have to negotiate is if there is competition. All right. Skepticism can be handled with heirs. All right. It's going to be handled a little bit differently. Okay. We're calling these individuals and we're saying, hey, there's some funds owed to the estate of the deceased individual. We're just contacting to make sure that the correct heir gets these funds. These funds are sitting in the estate. Our company specializes in receiving those claims. We have an attorney that files the probate, files the summary administration. We can help you out, all right? So the skepticism can be handled, just like it can be handled with the previous owner, all right? Also, using an attorney makes it very simple, guys. All right, so we're gonna run through everything, how I got this case, how I did it, what forms were required, how it was successful. You guys need to understand that using an attorney will make your life easier on these deceased claims. All right, now what are some downfalls? All right, because it's not all roses and sugar. Okay, sometimes it's difficult to locate the heirs. All right, just like sometimes it's difficult to locate the previous owner. Locating them can be difficult. All right, so let's just go through. I made a checklist for you guys on a deceased claim, what you need to do. All right, so step one, we need to verify that the individual is deceased. Okay, so this can be determined by looking at our skip tracing records. All right, we can see if the surplus list or the notice says EST of, which means estate of, et al., which means and others, it's Latin for and others. Then we have heirs of, or it's going to say living will or trust. All right, so we need to verify that they're deceased. Okay, after that, we need to look up the obituary. All right, so we can search on Google, we can search on legacy.com, we can look at online library records, obituary.com, ecovita.com, there's dignity.com, and ancestry.com. These are all websites where we can look up obituary. You might ask, well, what's an obituary? This is just going to say who passed away and who's basically their family. All right. Step number 3, we have to figure out who we can help file the claim. All right. We can help the closest living relative. We can help the spouse. We can help the children. We can help the siblings. But most importantly, we must look up the intestate succession laws for that state. All right. Because every state is going to be different based on who could actually claim funds on the heir. Another thing to understand is when we are going after the heirs, let's say there's 8 heirs, all right? You don't necessarily need all 8 heirs under an agreement, all right? You can have one estate representative, but the other 7 heirs need to be in some sort of arrangement and agreement allowing this person to be the estate representative. What's going to happen is when there's multiple heirs and one heir is making a petition for the estate representative, the attorney is going to do a publication. All right, so they're going to post and some sort of a newsletter or anything saying that, hey, this person is making a claim to be the estate representative of the deceased estate of Joe Blow. If you have any, discretion to this, please advise, say something, any rebuttals, let us know. All right, after publication has gone by, we're then going to submit a request to the judge, and then that will allow the estate representative to actually be the representative of the state to actually receive the funds. All right. Another thing is you'll have to see how the county is going to release the check. Sometimes the county might only release the check in the estate of the deceased individual. So that means that the heir, the representative, the estate representative, needs to have a bank account of the estate. That can happen. You go to the bank, you open up an estate bank account. All right. So after we understand who we're helping, how we can help them, now we got to get into communication. All right. So we're going to be speaking with family members, friends. We're just trying to figure out who we can get to. All right. The key to communication is we're trying to get the funds held in the estate to the correct heir. That's a gem for you guys. When you're doing your cold calls, use that line. You'll be able to close deals. All right. Also, offer incentives when you're talking to friends, family members. We do pay out finder fees. If you assist us on this claim, we can help you out. All right. After that, we're going to make a family tree. All right. What's their direct relationship with the previous owner? All right. See if there was any kids. living spouses, living siblings. You want to ask them if there was a will or a final testament, because this will make the process a lot easier. After that, we need to figure out what's required from the county. All right, anytime we're working on a case, we always must become experts and understand how that county operates and what is required. All right, so we're going to figure out. Typically, we need to get a probate. Sometimes you can get a summary of admin from the county when it's like a lower dollar amount, like under $50,000. Some counties even allow an affidavit of heirship. So you definitely want to check with the county, see what's going on. Step 7, we're going to get a death certificate. Death certificate, we can go on vitalcheck.com. We can go on the county's health department and request this. Sometimes you might need the social. You can get that with form SSA 711. That's $30. All right. After we have all that, we're going to have our attorney get the paperwork together. We're going to get that estate representative established, and then we're going to have a successful payout. All right. So these are the steps to a deceased claim. All right. What's needed, we'll get into that. Agreement form, family tree, proof of identification, death certificate. Payouts typically between 30 and 35%. All right. So what was needed on our end, we had to have the county's claim form, of course. And the claim form, it's going to say the claimant is now going to be the heir to whatever their name is. Let's say it's John Smith. We're going to put in parentheses estate representative of John Smith Sr., whoever it is. You're going to put the name, parentheses, boom. All right. If you get assignment of interest from the individual, you're going to put your company's name, parentheses, via assignment of interest of John Smith, heir representative of, boom, estate representative of, boom. All right. We had the agreement form between our company. We had the attorney's agreement form, which is basically just stating that, you know, they agreed to the services, the fees, things like that. We have proof of identification. Of course, we need that. We ended up getting the summary of administration. We had the deed document. We had the death certificate. All right. So when I told you guys that there's not many people that are actually showing you what's necessary, these are the documents that I use. All right. Full transparency. Here we have the order of the summary of administration. All right. So we had our attorneys prepare the petition for the summary of administration. We got that approved. We have our agreement form. We have the deed document. And then we have our agreement form between the attorney. All right. So we need to understand that deceased claims are going to get you paid, and they happen more frequently. So we need to definitely make sure that we understand how to do it. Now, number one question is, can you do deceased claims at a large scale? All right. Yes, you can. You need a good researcher. You need somebody that's going to be able to locate heirs. You need somebody that's going to be able to find obituaries, to look at things like that. All right. You need to be on top of required documents, getting the death certificates. All right. If there's a will, final testament, make sure that you have everything prepared so you can send to your attorney. You need to have an attorney that is familiar with this process. Don't get a newbie attorney. Get an attorney that's familiar with probates, summary of administration, that is understanding the succession laws in that state. All right. You need the ability to communicate properly. You need to explain to the heirs how the previous owner, whoever their kin was that passed away, had the property, didn't pay the taxes, property sold for a higher amount. Now there's money left in the estate. We can claim it. We have a limited time, things like that. And then we also need to understand how to send proof. I always tell you guys, proof can be sent in many ways. We can have a notice of surplus funds letter. We can have their name on an actual excess funds list, surplus list, overbid list, whatever the county wants to call it. And then we can also send over the auction results showing that the property sold for a higher amount. All right, guys. So this was a nice little claim. $21,588 is what we were able to recover. Our company's service fees were $6,476. Was a pretty good deal. If you guys are interested in learning how to do this business step by step and learn from somebody who's honestly in it to help you guys, I have the lowest cost course out there, very transparent, over 47 chapters. Then make sure you guys take advantage of using the code Take Action. That's all one word, Take Action. You'll get $100 off the course. I'm looking forward to helping you guys out.